Hello everyone. How are you all? I hope you all are keeping fine. Today we will study about a topic that is used every now and then in our daily life. In fact, I would not be wrong if I say that without these our life is incomplete or complicated. So, let us study about simple machines. You must have seen your mother using a knife to cut the vegetables or your father using a hammer to fix a nail in the wall. These two equipment which make our work easier and faster are known as machines. The Greek scientist and mathematician Archimedes invented first simple machines. Archimedes did not invent simple machines, but he developed and improved them. We know that during ancient times, people had to depend upon their muscular energy or the muscular energy of animals such as bulls and horses to do different types of work. But slowly things started improving when humans discovered machines. For example, to tear a piece of cloth, we require a pair of scissors. To cut a tree, we need an axe. Here, a pair of scissors and an axe are the examples of machines. Simple machines are the machines that are made up of very few parts. They simply change the direction or the magnitude of force. They are manually handled to perform mechanical work. For example, a claw hammer helps us to easily pull out a nail from a block of wood. An axe helps us to cut wood easily. Here, claw hammer and axe are simple machines. Now let us study certain advantages of simple machines. First of all, the machines help us to do work with less effort. For example, here we can see a crowbar. It is used to move a heavy stone or heavy object. Secondly, we can see here a screw jack that is used to lift a car while changing its wheels. Machine help us to do our work faster. For example, a garden scissors cut leaves much faster than a normal scissor. Yes. Also, we can see here a spade which is used to move sand and earth very quickly and easily. Machine also help us to change the direction of force. For example, a pulley is usually used to lift a pail of water from the well, which makes the task very easier. Machine help us to apply force at a convenient point and to produce its effect at some other point. For example, to fix a nail into any wooden block, we apply the force at its head using a hammer. Here the hammer is a simple machine, with the help of which the nail moves into the wood from its pointed end. Similarly, we can see here the picture of a wooden door that is being closed with the help of a handle. For closing or opening a door, we apply force at the handle and the door moves around the hinges. Machines enable us to do unsafe and dangerous work. For example, fire tongs are used to lift a piece of burning coal from fire. It is really dangerous, so machines are helpful. Now let us understand certain terms that are used in simple machine. The very first term is load. It is defined as the weight to be lifted or moved, that is, the force to be overcome by the machine. Effort. The external force applied to lift or move the load is called effort. Fulcrum. A fixed point about which the machine turns while doing the mechanical work is called fulcrum. Now let us study other terms. The very first term under this category is load arm. The shortest distance of load from the fulcrum is known as load arm. Effort arm. Similarly, the shortest distance of the effort from the fulcrum is known as effort arm. Here comes one of the important part, that is velocity ratio. The ratio of distance moved by the effort to the corresponding distance moved by the load is called velocity ratio. Input. The energy supplied to a machine is called the input. Everything you do to make a machine work, such as pushing on a bicycle pedal, is input. It is basically the work done on a machine. Output. Everything a machine does for you is called output. For example, going fast and climbing a steep hill is output. It is basically the work done by a machine. Mechanical advantage. The very important term. A machine allows you to lift or move large load with small effort. Thus, the machine makes your work easier and gives you an advantage. This is known as mechanical advantage. Generally, it is given by the ratio of the load to the effort. Since it is a ratio of forces, it is also known as force ratio. Simply, we can call mechanical advantage as force ratio. Load and effort both are measured in Newton, so mechanical advantage is a pure number without any unit. Now let us understand various types of simple machines. Simple machines are of various types: inclined plane, wedge, screw, lever, wheel and axle, pulley. Let us learn something about inclined plane. An inclined plane is simply a plane surface that is tilted or inclined to the horizontal. It is the simplest of all the machines and is used to move heavy loads easily by rolling or sliding them along the inclined plane rather than lifting them up vertically. For example, we have seen the ramps in the buildings to raise cars from one floor to another, in a parking lot, or to move wheelchairs in a hospital. Such ramps are examples of inclined planes. Secondly, let us study something about a wedge. A wedge is a piece of wood or metal that is narrow at one end and is broad at the other. Basically, a wedge is formed when two inclined planes are attached back to back. It is a simple machine which helps us to break down solid objects. Axe, chisel, knife, saw, plow are some examples of wedge. The sharper the edge of the wedge, it becomes easier to cut something with it. Thus, the working principle of a wedge is to reduce the surface area so that minimum effort is required to generate maximum pressure. Now let us learn something about a screw. I think you all have seen it. A screw is a modified inclined plane. It looks like a nail having a spiral groove around it. The windings are called threads. The tip of the screw is pointed while the head is flat. It has a slit that helps in positioning the screwdriver to turn the screw. The screw travels longer distance than a nail, which is hammered straight into the wood. A corkscrew is an example of screw that is used to pull out the cork from the sealed bottles. Also, a screw jack is example of a screw that is a combination of a nut and a bolt. It is used for lifting one side of a car or truck. in order to change the punctured tires. Let us learn something about livers. Liver is a rigid bar which can move freely about a fixed point called fulcrum. Some examples of liver are a crowbar, our arm. It is also a lever which is free to move about a fulcrum, that is our elbow. The door of our room can be considered as a lever where the hinge is the fulcrum. Let us now study about wheel and axle arrangement. A wheel and axle is an arrangement in which a wheel is attached to a rod called axle. Such an arrangement helps us in moving a heavy load with much smaller effort. A wheel and axle consist of two cylinders of different diameters joined together such that one is made to rotate, the other also rotates. Here the cylinder with bigger diameter is called wheel, whereas the other with small diameter is called axle. Effort applied to the wheel turns the axle, and the effort applied to the axle turns the wheel. The tap in our homes is an example of wheel and axle arrangement. Let us learn a bit about pulley. A simple machine that consists of wheel with a grooved rim over which a rope or chain can be passed is called a pulley. The pulley is supported within a frame called block and is free to rotate around an axle. In this video, we will learn more about levers and pulley. Now let us study lever in detail. As I told you earlier, lever is a rigid bar which can move freely about a fixed point called fulcrum. I think you have used end of a spoon to open the tight-fitting lid of a tin. Here the spoon is used as a lever to make the working of opening of lid easier. Depending upon the positions of the load, effort and fulcrums, levers are divided into three categories. Lever of first order. When the fulcrum lies in between the load and the effort, it is class 1 lever or lever of first order. In this lever, the effort and the load move in opposite directions. Seesaw, crowbar, pair of scissors, plier, handle of a water pump, claw hammer and beam balance are some examples of lever of first order. In these levers, the mechanical advantage can be greater than or less than 1. If the effort arm is longer than the load arm, the mechanical advantage is greater than 1, and a small effort can lift a larger load. Lever of second order. When the load is in between the fulcrum and the effort, it is a class 2 lever or lever of second order. In this lever, the effort and the load move in same direction. A wheelbarrow, a nutcracker, the oar of a boat, mango cutter, a bottle opener are some examples of lever of second order. In these levers, the effort arm is always greater than the load arm. Thus, the mechanical advantage is always greater than 1. These levers always reduce the effort required and thus are known as force multipliers. Lever of third order. When the effort is between the fulcrum and the load, it is a class 3 lever or lever of third order. In this lever, the effort and the load move in same direction. A human arm, a broom, a pair of tongs, a fishing rod, a spade are some examples of lever of third order. In these levers, the effort arm is always shorter than the load arm. Thus, the mechanical advantage is always less than 1. These levers are often used to do delicate jobs such as force grips to pick up small objects. Now let us study in detail lever of first order. You can see here a beam balance and a seesaw. A beam balance arrangement contains load on the left hand side whereas effort on the right hand side. In between, fulcrum is given to balance the two. Similarly, in case of a seesaw, we can see between the two planks there is a fulcrum. On the left hand side, load, that is weight, a heavy object is placed, whereas on the right hand side, a light object, that is effort, is placed. Lever of second order. In lever of second order, load lies in between effort and fulcrum. A wheelbarrow is an example. In a wheelbarrow, the handle gives the effort, the tire acts as a fulcrum, and in between there is a place for load motion. Similarly, a bottle opener, the effort is provided at the handle from where we just open the bottle. Load lies in between and fulcrum helps us to open the bottle. Lever of third order, a spade and arm of human is an example of lever of third order. In this lever, the effort lies in between the fulcrum and the load. A spade and a human forearm are the examples. In a spade, effort lies between the fulcrum and the load. Load is lifted from one end, whereas the fulcrum lies on the other end. In between, the human applies force as effort to lift the load. Similarly, human forearm. In case of human forearm, on the palm you place the load. With the help of muscles you apply effort, and at the end lies the fulcrum. Now let us come to the law of levers. According to law of levers, when a lever is balanced, load into load arm should always be equal to effort into effort arm. I believe that you all are able to make out this law of levers from the given diagram. In the given diagram, we can see there is a load motion given and effort motion given. In between lies the fulcrum. Now let us come to pulley. Let us learn more about pulley. A pulley is a simple machine that consists of a wheel with a grooved rim over which a rope or a chain can be passed. The wheel is supported within a frame called block and is free to rotate around an axle. There are several types of pulley: single fixed pulley, single movable pulley, block and tackle arrangement. Single fixed pulley. A single fixed pulley consists of single pulley attached to a high platform. One end of the rope that passes through its groove is attached to the load. The effort is applied at the other end of the rope. In this pulley, the block is fixed and the pulley does not move. A single fixed pulley helps us to change the direction of the effort to a more convenient direction. For example, in order to make the bucket move upwards while drawing water from a well using a pulley, a person has to pull the rope in the downward direction. This is more convenient as compared to the more difficult pull upward. The mechanical advantage of single fixed pulley is 1, since the effort applied is same as the load lifted. Single movable pulley. A single movable pulley is that in which the pulley along with its block moves with the load. In such a pulley, one end of the rope is fixed and the effort is made on the free end of the rope to lift the load upwards. Here, the load is supported by two parallel ropes, and each rope shares the load equally. Thus, a single movable pulley enables us to lift a load which is twice as much as our effort. In other words, the mechanical advantage of a single movable pulley is 2. In a single movable pulley, the rope has to be pulled upwards, which is quite inconvenient. This can be avoided by using a combination of fixed and movable pulley. Here, the fixed pulley only serves as a function of changing the direction in which the effort is to be applied. If several pulleys are used together, greater loads can be lifted with less effort. Such an arrangement of police is called block and tackle arrangement. Thank you everybody. Hope you liked the video.